What is going on, you guys? Alex back here with a brand new video, and today Jimmy Butler has been traded to the Golden State Warriors in return for Andrew Wiggins, and there's a few other moving parts to this deal. There's actually a lot of moving parts to this deal, but the main idea, Jimmy Butler is heading to the Golden State Warriors for Andrew Wiggins, and again, there's a few other things going on. But this is crazy. It's actually kind of expected when it came down to it the past few days. It seemed like the Golden State Warriors have come back in the Jimmy Butler market. Originally, Jimmy Butler was like, I want to go anywhere across the association as long as I'm not in Miami. His tune changed within, 24 hours where, no, I want to go to the Phoenix Suns. I only want to go to the Phoenix Suns. But the Suns, with the Bradley Beal, the no trade clause, it was just not working. It was just not going to happen. There was no way Bradley Beal was going to accept a trade to anywhere. He wanted to stay in Phoenix. He wants his money, which he was going to get either way, but he has that no trade clause and he wants to stay where he's at. He's the one that really caused the Jimmy Butler to Phoenix thing to die pretty quickly. And then there were some random rumors of maybe Kevin Durant going back to the Golden State Warriors. This all surrounds the Golden State Warriors becoming extremely desperate to pair another star up with Stephen Curry. And that's exactly what we saw with this trade. The Golden State Warriors got desperate. They originally were like, you know what? I don't know if we want to make a lot of moves. Stephen Curry was not having that. Draymond Green was not having that. I believe this is just my personal opinion because Stephen Curry came out publicly and said some things need to change. I believe Draymond Green and Stephen Curry had a sit-down talk with management and we're like, no, we need another star. We have a few more years left for all of us. Let's maximize this. And that's exactly what they did. They bring in Jimmy Butler, another star who I think is getting a lot of hate deservedly. He has done everything in Miami to make that a living hell for that organization. Don't get me wrong. But I think he's been softballing it this year. I think Jimmy Butler still has that playoff Jimmy in him. And I think that's going to come out now in Golden State. Do I think they're a championship contender? Absolutely not. Do I think they're better than where they were before this trade? Slightly. Because Andrew Wiggins is having a good year. But if you just look at the counting stats, you're going to be like, okay, this is pretty close. I think I might go with Andrew Wiggins there. But don't just look at the counting stats. Like I said, playoff Jimmy is still in him somewhere. The great all-star Jimmy Butler is still in him, right? It is. He's just been dogging it this year because he didn't want to be in Miami. He's been dogging it. He's been doing everything he can to sabotage the Miami Heat. We all know that, and it has worked to the point where Pat Riley finally traded him. But let's talk about all sides of this trade, starting off with the Miami Heat. This is awesome. Like I've said, Jimmy Butler did absolutely everything possible to sabotage this organization, get out of town. He really wanted to force his way to the Phoenix Suns, but that was never going to work. And then there were some rumors. Do they swap Kevin Durant for Jimmy Butler? Why would the Phoenix Suns do that? That makes zero sense. I can't believe that was even a rumor for a few hours in the past few days. But the Miami Heat get Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, who might be getting shipped off to Toronto. That part of the deal fell through. But as of right now, Kyle Anderson is heading to Miami. They bring back PJ Tucker, and they also get a first-round pick, which it hasn't been brought out yet. What kind of first-round pick? Is there protections on it? Is there no protections? But I'm assuming, since it's a Jimmy Butler deal, I'm assuming there's very few protections, if any, on that pick. You'd think, and Pat Riley's a mastermind when it comes to trades. So I'm just going to assume that it's a pretty valuable first-round pick. It's at least just a good one that they can actually use, and it's not like a fake first-round pick with a bunch of protections on it. That's just my assuming. We'll see what happens. We'll figure that out probably within the next hours or coming days when things get finalized. But either way, they bring in Andrew Wiggins. After all of this, you bring back someone who is as of right now, a comparable player to Jimmy Butler. I don't think there's a massive gap. Andrew Wiggins is a former All-Star. I think Jimmy Butler still has All-Star potential in him. Again, I think Jimmy Butler's better, and he's a better fit for Golden State, bringing another star. But when you're going back to what Miami brought in, you're bringing in someone who's averaging 18 points per game, 4.5 rebounds, a few assists a night, shooting 44% from the field, 38% from three. Overall, a great defender. I wouldn't call him a superstar defender, but I think he's just a few notches below that. And he fits relatively the timeline they're in right now. He's a little older than Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo, but overall he does fit this timeline of just being younger. And also, Jimmy Butler has been suspended 3 different times. He's been told to go home, this, that, and that. He has not played a lot lately. You're just now automatically putting someone in your rotation who brings you 18 points per game, where you didn't have that for a pretty good while because Jimmy Butler's been dogging it, hasn't been playing a lot. So either way, you're just bringing in another body that provides something to this team where Jimmy Butler just wasn't doing that right now. And now this is officially Tyler Herro's team, Bam Adebayo's team as well. He's just been not as good this year. I mean, he's had some moments lately. He's been looking a little better overall, but still very inconsistent. The offense just isn't there, what we're used to seeing in past years. But right now, it's Tyler Herro's team and Bam Adebayo. And then you bring Andrew Wiggins into this. It's good. There's no expectations for this team to be a championship team, but they should be a playoff team. And it's Miami. You have Eric Spoelstra. You have Pat Riley up top. You never know the run this team could go on. Of course, Jimmy Butler led that in the past, but there's a new movement here. Kel'el Ware has looked absolutely awesome. He has been a huge surprise. The Miami Heat are in a very good spot. And after everything Jimmy Butler did to get his way out of town, the return they get, you can't really complain if you're a Miami Heat fan. You can't. You could have got a bag of chips in return, but you didn't. You got a pretty good haul surrounding Andrew Wiggins, and it's just a piece that can play right away and be pretty good. You got to be happy. And also, if we just look at their contracts, you're not paying a lot. You're not investing a lot into Andrew Wiggins. It's $26 million the rest of this year, and then $28, and then there's a $30 million player option, which at that time he'll probably decline and want to re-up on a bigger contract with the new CBA and these inflated contracts. But for the next, year and a half here, you're not really investing a lot into Andrew Wiggins. Like, it's a pretty good contract. I think it's awesome. Great overall, again, a great overall deal, and that's how Pat Riley likes to roll. And then the Golden State Warriors side of this, of course, they bring in Jimmy Butler, which is great. I mean, it is. They're buying into the right now. In my opinion, I think they should have got Lauri Markkanen a long time ago. I think that'd be better because it fits the right now. And it also fits the youth timeline and just keeping things going post Stephen Curry. Not that Lauri Markkanen is like a Luka Doncic and he'll do the same effect that Luka's going to do in LA post LeBron. That's not what I'm saying. But the fact that you'd have just a youthful star, this is something to build upon when Steph Curry does decide to retire. But at the end of the day, the Golden State Warriors needed to do something. Do I think them bringing in Jimmy Butler and then giving him a 2-year, $121 million contract extension is exactly what they wanted to do? No, not at all. But at the end of the day, Stephen Curry is still playing great ball. You have to invest in him if you want him to be happy and ultimately just stay and ride out his career in Golden State. That's what they did. If you look at the contract extension Jimmy Butler did get, it lines up exactly with Draymond Green's contracts and Stephen Curry's contract for the rest of their contracts as of right now. Will they re-up after that? Maybe, but they'll be pretty old at that point. They'll be like close to, Stephen Curry will be close to like 39, Jimmy Butler, same thing, so who knows what's going to happen there. But they're both on this 3-year timeline, and that's all you can really ask for if you're Stephen Curry. They brought in a guy, they still have Buddy Hield on a pretty minimal contract. They still have, of course, Podziemski on a minimal contract, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton. They could really package any of those guys and go out and get someone else before the deadline. I think Nikola Vucevic, if they really want to maximize this trade deadline, it's going out and getting Nikola Vucevic before it's too late. I think he's going to be moved. There's been a lot of different trades going on, and Nikola Vucevic has not been one of them. I mean, they got rid of Zach LaVine in Chicago. There's no need for Vuce to stay there any longer. If I'm the Golden State Warriors, he's not even making too much money. I want to say it's around like the 20 million mark. Let me see. Nikola Vuce contract. I want to say it's around, it was 3 years, 60 million back in the 23 off seasons. Yeah, so he's making around $20 million a year. That's not too much money to match. They could do that with Gary Payton's contract, Buddy Hield's contract, and if you want to throw Kevon Looney in there, you could. I'm doing everything I can to keep Jonathan Kuminga. I mean, they kept Jonathan Kuminga in this deal. There's no reason why they couldn't in another deal. But you could just package a couple contracts together with maybe someone like Guy Santos, and you could bring Vooch in, and that would expedite you guys even better and maybe throw you guys in more of a contender conversation. I don't think they're there, but it would definitely boost those odds. But overall, I've talked about Jimmy Butler endlessly in the last year. Before he even requested a trade, I've been talking about it because he's been throwing hints. He didn't officially become this outward on social media or in the public eye pissed off guy until about 2 months ago. It seems like a while ago, but it's only been a couple months. But he's been hinting. Remember back at the beginning of the year, I even made a video on this. He was hinting, there was some hints from his agent that, he'd like to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. That's just because they could give him the most money. He never wanted to go to the Brooklyn Nets. He wanted to go to Phoenix. That was really his goal. Things weren't going to work out with the new CBA. Just never was going to happen. Unless Bradley Beal was like, okay, I want to be traded, but he doesn't want to be traded. So that doesn't work. The Warriors swoop back in after Jimmy Butler said, I don't want to go to Golden State because the Warriors weren't going to give him his contract extension. Jimmy Butler, at the end of the day, wanted what he wanted. He wanted that contract extension. He wanted to be guaranteed for a few more years, making a lot of money. What's he going to be making? He's going to be making $54 and $58 million. That's insane. He's not worth that, but he got his bag, and he's happy. That's all he wanted. And yeah, he does get to play with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, but they're just still missing that one more piece. Could that be Vooch? Could Kuminga finally blow up? I'm praying. We'll see. But anyways, the rest of this trade goes like this. The Jazz get Dennis Schröder. The Pistons get Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson. That's just more depth for the Pistons. I like that a lot. Dennis Schröder, that's multiple trades this year. Went from Brooklyn to the Warriors to the Utah Jazz. I don't see him lasting there too long, but definitely we'll see what happens. And then the Warriors get Jimmy. Heat receive Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, and a 25 first-round pick that we don't really know too much about yet. But anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. And let me know your thoughts down in the comments below about this entire Jimmy Butler deal. I think the Heat made out very, very well for how badly Jimmy Butler lowered his value. The Heat really could have got stuck with next to nothing, but they made it work. And they bring in someone who could be a valuable piece right now in Andrew Wiggins. You can't really complain about that. But anyways, hopefully you guys did enjoy today's video. I'll be back very soon with more trade deadline news. And like always, peace out.